The writing was on the wall, Dirty Birds fans, but now it is official. YoungHoe Koo has officially been released by the Atlanta Falcons. Welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. I am your host for the 2025 season. Before we get started, this is why you hit the subscribe button. Every time the Atlanta Falcons have a piece of breaking news, a big roster move just like this one, I'm going to break it down with my thoughts, my analysis, and give you everything you need to know surrounding the Dirty Bird. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I think we all know that this move was coming. I don't want to be the one that sits here and harps on how bad a player was or why he negatively impacted the team. And I understand that that's part of the job. So I'm going to try to do this with as much grace and, frankly, elegance as I can kind of do it with. Koo was not good. And dating back to last year, and I'm talking about recently, because there was a time when Koo was excellent. If we go back to the beginning of the 2024 season, so let's talk about the last 19 games the Atlanta Falcons have played in the regular season. He had a less than 73% field goal percentage. It was fourth worst in the NFL. And frankly, it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And that's why after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, when you literally had a shot to go all the way downfield, tie the game up after your young quarterback puts you in a position to keep this team in the ball game, and you miss it after clanking one off the right upright that barely squeaked in earlier in the game. Raheem Morris came out after that game and said, look, I'm not going to be, I'm going to be upfront with you guys. I'm going to be complete 100% transparent. We're working out other players. It's time. We cannot afford to miss clutch kicks in that situation. And you went out, you worked out John Parker Romo, signed him to the practice squad, elevated him to the 53 for that Sunday Night Football game against the Minnesota Vikings. He went 5 for 5. He was perfect. Now, not every kick was perfect, but every single one of them went in. And he's a Georgia native. He brings fresh energy into that special teams room where Koo was gradually, dissenting because of his confidence. It was shot. He had this new weird stance that he was doing in this weird, I don't want to call it a wind-up, but whatever you call it to get into your kick, your motion, I guess. It's clear he had the yips. Parker Romo comes in, knocks it out of the park. Falcons look dominant on Sunday Night Football, and the rest is history. We kind of figured that this was going to happen. And again, I don't want to be the one that harps on stuff like this because these are grown men, right? Everybody's got a job. You have a job. I've got a job. And at the end of the day, if I'm not doing my job correctly, I don't want to go onto YouTube or onto social media and see that everybody talks about how shitty of a person or shitty of a kicker I am. Because the truth is that, look, he had a bad stretch. I hoped and pray that he finds a spot on another team's practice squad or on a 53, and he does well. But right now for the Atlanta Falcons, it wasn't good enough. So I have to talk about what's best for this team, not what's best for the individual. And what was best for the Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris, Terry Fontenot, Jeff Ulbrich, Zach Robinson, Michael Penix, Bijan, for this whole team, was to go with Parker Romo as your kicker for the 2025 season. Now, before I continue on with today's episode, I do want to at least briefly mention that we are going to be live for our Carolina Panthers watch party. So we'll be live at 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to pull up, if you want the chance to win a Deion Sanders jersey, you got to make sure that you're in there. It costs $5 to enter, whether that be a super thanks on this video or a $5 super chat to get in on that Sunday watch party. You will have a chance to get entered to win a Deion Sanders primetime Atlanta Falcons jersey at the end of the month. The second half of this video, I do want to briefly talk about what I think this move signifies, because we talked about it on our live show. I put out a video about it, and the message was clear to not only Koo, but the rest of this football team. And the message is we will not tolerate losing. There is a completely different mentality for this Atlanta Falcons football team in 2025. It is no longer hey, our offense looks dynamic, but we can't stop anybody on defense. Or we're, beating the teams we should, but every once in a while we'll drop a game and we'll finish the season 8-9 again. That's not what this team is about. This team is going to punch you in the mouth. They do not tolerate the little tiny mistakes. They are detail-oriented. They will make sure that even if they lose a game, because remember, it's the NFL, you're bound to lose games. Every team loses football games. But you're going to be worse for wear after you play the Dirty Birds in 2025, as seen by what this organization did in the 2025 draft. Primarily on defense, primarily on pass rush. This interior pressure led by Brandon Dorlus and David Onyemata and Ruka Rororo, Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. getting to the quarterback. Leonard Floyd, Divine Diablo, every single move you made this offseason, whether it be in the draft or in free agency, was gearing up for the moment that the Falcons were flipping the switch to create a new identity. They really are a Dirty Birds team. They're going to get down, they're going to get dirty, they're going to punch you in the mouth, and they're going to win tough, physical football games. No more finesse, no more fireworks show, and I believe that we can have that because Michael Penix Jr. is this close to breaking free. I think he's got the big play mentality, but I also think that Michael Penix Jr. understands that there are going to be games where he doesn't need to do that, as evidenced against the Minnesota Vikings. You go out, you do what you need to do to get the W. Winning cures all. I don't need you to go out and throw for 400 yards. I don't need you to throw for 354 touchdowns, but the Falcons lose 38-35. Can you win a football game 23-20? Can you win a football game 22-6? And I think the Falcons are showing, yes, they can. But Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot have now set the precedent by this move, by going out and signing Parker Romo and releasing Koo. And the message is your job isn't as safe as you think it is. You have got to perform. And that's every single job in America. That's the capitalist society that we live in. Not to get political with it, but the truth is that we value performance in society. Football is the ultimate showcase of that precedent. You've got to be a winner. You've got to showcase that you belong on this football team. You've got to give the results, and Koo was not giving you the results. So I think that this is going to be something that they model going forward with not just the special teams, but also other players. They did it with D. Alford. Everybody thought that after the the drafting of Billy Bowman, he drafted him because he was a safety coming out of Oklahoma. Then they start giving him, nickel corner snaps. And everybody's talking about, wow, this kid is pretty good. Like, he could take D. Alford's job. And even myself included, and I'll be the first one to say that I was kind of guilty of this, I thought that it was going to be gradual. I thought D. Alford was going to start the season, and then by week 4 or week 5, you'd be seeing Billy Bowman eat into those snaps to eventually take over the position. No, Raheem Morris said, week 1, Bowman's the guy. D. Alford wasn't good enough. Koo wasn't good enough. You can get replaced. And you know what? Frankly, I kind of dig it. I kind of love it. So I'm really, really happy that this coaching staff is doing the things necessary, as tough as it is, to help this football team win going forward. And that is exactly why I think this year feels so much different than the last couple of seasons, because the Atlanta Falcons have a new identity. A reminder to like the video if you haven't already. I'm on my day off here. That's why I'm in my kitchen currently. A reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, rise up. See you Sunday and be cool.